Good morning, traders. What is going on? So let's talk about a little bit of what happened yesterday, and let's go and see what is market is going to give us today. Yesterday we had major news on the U.S. session, and well, it drove the market crazy. As you can see, gold right now it went all the way up right over here. We had a buy alert. Price was here on the blue zone. And then yesterday it hit this, let me just make this a little bit bigger. It hit yesterday's high and then it came back down again, and then it kind of stayed within the moving average, okay? So this is one of the things sometimes that if you get an entry, it's very important that you pay attention, okay? What is going on after you make the entry? Because you can focus a lot on making the first entry, but once the entry is made, then what is you have to look at the market reaction to the zones, to the moving average, and then you can see, hey, something's going on. Maybe I have their news also. If you got into a sell and you see the market getting stuck within one place for too long, then it's best that you get out and wait and see what happens, okay? So in here, if you were selling and then the market pretty much was giving you already heads up that you should just get out and then see what happens, and price went all the way up. Now, what is going on with gold today is that, well, pretty much the moving average is outside yesterday's high. It's all the way, up here. We're up above the zones over here. So, they're best that you look for buy entries, that you get possibilities for buy entries. If you want to look for a sell entry, then wait until price comes back inside to yesterday's high, because this more or less price will be more stable, okay? Once price gets out of here, then it's just best that you look for buy entries instead of sell entries, all right? So I think the same thing happened yesterday with euro dollar. Euro dollar did give out an entry very early on, and then it kind of also stayed put and quiet. Right here gave an entry, and then we can see price was closing above prior 4-hour candle, and then it reacted on this zone right here, and then it went all the way up. Once it gets out of yesterday's high, then there's nothing else that we can do in terms of looking for sell entries, okay? So right now, euro dollar, as you can see, it gave an entry outside of yesterday's high, and now, I really think there's a possibility to look for buy entries of somewhere around here or where it is. Again, you need a confirmation. What is that confirmation? Is that we get a signal, and also we make sure that the entry happens inside the prior 4-hour candle high and low, okay? So if we want to buy, we want to make sure that for now we wait for this current 4-hour session, pretty much what we could say is close, and then wait and see what happens after that, okay? So that's pretty much it with euro dollar. I would say buy entries will be great, unless price might make a U-turn and come all the way down here, but pretty much buying entries would be possibility right now with euro dollar. So let's see what pound dollar is going to give us today. All right, so pound dollar is acting the same way as euro dollar, okay? It gave an entry somewhere in here. It is good that it was inside prior 4-hour candle. This is what I mean. And it came back inside here. Now, again, pound dollar looks great to buy, whether it gets closer to these levels or even closer to this blue box over here, or these zones in here, okay? So pound dollar, I think, would be great to buy. And if it gives us another sell entry, then, more or less it will be like an M formation, okay? Let's see what Australian dollar, more or less the dollars pairs are acting the same way. All right, so this one is way, again, gave a sell entry, but this one is so far away from yesterday's high. This again would be great to buy, whenever we get a confirmation. I'm not saying, hey, when it hits here, buy, or when it hits here, buy. It's just you have to wait for the confirmation. And what is that confirmation is going to be? You're going to wait for a buy signal, and then you want to make sure that it's inside the prior 4-hour candle. And then, of course, it happens close to these levels where most likely it should be able to get down here. Maybe it gets even down to yesterday's high, and then it can bounce and keep on going higher. Again, we never know the future with the market, but we can make the best decision or our own judgment based on what we see right in front of us, okay? Let's see what dollar yen. This one most likely went the opposite direction, all the way down, which I know this one was trending up. I know it takes a little bit while. All right, so wow, so this one made a nice U-turn, okay? So it went down, but we know that with dollar yen, this one was trending up, so you're able to see here a little bit. It was trending up, right? So it made a nice move down, and then it went all the way back again. So this one actually gave a nice buy opportunity. It came down all the way to the last zone in here, and then it started to react, and then boom, it went up. So now the question is, what should we do with dollar yen? With dollar yen, as long as it stays below yesterday's high and it doesn't peeps out of yesterday's high, it should be good to sell as well, if all terms and if we get the confirmation. So as long as it stays below yesterday's high and then we get that entry signal and we make sure that we are inside prior 4-hour candle, then that should be a good confirmation to resell again. I do like that the moving average is all the way down here. Again, it's just a matter of waiting for confirmation. So this one makes a nice U-turn. We just gotta wait and see if it hits any of these levels right here, and then gives us that sell entry. Let's see what dollar CAD gave out. This one I think also had a nice move down, and let's see if it gives us any entry. All right, so all the pairs had a nice reaction right here. So this one again will be awesome to sell if it gets closer to this level, or even closer to this level. As long as below yesterday's high, which is really far away, I doubt it's gonna get all the way up here, but you never know with the market. So as long as you get a nice sell confirmation, which you have a lot in here, close to these levels right here, or this one, would be great to look for a sell entry on dollar CAD. All right, so let's see what Euro CAD has to offer. All right, so this one, it went down right here. Right now it's getting out of yesterday's low, which I really dislike. It's acting up on this blue zone or this blue box right here. It might give us a buy entry, but we just have to make sure that it comes back inside to yesterday's low, or otherwise it might just stay below here and then keep on dropping. Again, it's a matter of waiting. We have a lot of news coming up, so it all depends on that. So this one, if it reacts in here, it would be good to buy and then see maybe we can get another bounce to sell on this one. So, anywhere closer to maybe to the MA, might get up to here or the white zone, and then it might bounce back in here, okay? Let's see, Euro Australia. What do we have in here? Just take some time to switch. All right, so this one is definitely way below everything. So way below the red box, the blue box, yesterday's low. And then this one will be very dangerous if we're looking for buy entries. I advise you to look for sell entries anywhere closer to these levels. Even if it comes back in here, then I would just wait to sell, right? Because I can't guarantee that it's going to get back here. But if it does, by any chance, then I would just wait for it and sell again, okay? So that's one of those things that you can't force an entry saying, well, if it went all the way down, then let me just buy because it should be able to come back. Yes, it should, but when? Is it going to happen today or is it going to happen tomorrow? So are you willing to wait? So it's best that, you wait for a really good confirmation. I really hate entries that are way below yesterday's low or high and way below in here. And then I just have to really wait for a best confirmation. So for this one, I would just ignore it myself. And then if I get a good sell entry, then I would just go for it instead. Let's see what Euro Yen, those were trending up yesterday, the day before. All right, so this one, it came back down again. It gave out a beautiful entry right here. It hit this zone right here. We're above the red box on the blue one, and it went boom, beautiful out all the way down up here. it hit yesterday's high, and then there's a possibility right now, you know, if it keeps on going lower, that it might hit this level right here, or even yesterday's low. So we're still good to buy on this one, because, well, you know, already hit this level. It could come back in here, right, to test it, or maybe even this one, and then keep on going higher. So right now it already gave, this is what I talk about, M formation. You know, we got the first leg, and then this is pretty much the second leg, you know, that where we can maybe sell in here. So if I show you right now, this is the prior 4-hour candle, okay? So this is acting also as a nice support, right? We just gotta wait that once it closes below it, it can definitely go lower, and then pretty much what we can do is then look for a buy entry, okay? I would say, you know, a buy entry would not hurt on this one, but we shall wait and see what happens, okay? So let's see with Euro New Zealand. All right, so this one, if it gave a sell entry and is already inside this red box, you know, once it breaks it, it can definitely reach all the way to this blue one right here. If it gives, you know, right now, if it gives a buy entry and it gets back into yesterday's low, you know, it will be great. But for this one, again, there's two possibilities. Yes, we can buy. I hate getting in below yesterday's low, but you know, if we really get a good confirmation, we still have this blue box in here as a safeguard, okay? This is prior days support. So if it gets up to here and then we get a really good support, then, you know, we can definitely get some bounce to the upside, or then you can still look for another sell entry, okay? We shall wait and see what happens with this Euro New Zealand, as this one was also trending up. So now it might just start heading down again. Let's see pound yen. All right, so pound yen is almost the same way, looking the same way as euro yen. You know, came to this level right here, beautiful, and then it came back again to yesterday's highs. All we have to do, you know, either enter, well, I wouldn't enter in here because my yesterday's low, my prior 4-hour candle is all the way down here. You know, we can use this second prior 4-hour candle as an entry, but you know, we just have to be safe and get out either at the moving average or when it hits this 4-hour candle resistance or support, okay? Once it gets there, or if it breaks it, it can definitely reach lower, and then definitely I will wait for it when it reaches down here to buy again. So right now, you know, we got the M formation forming right here. This is the second leg. You know, it's a matter of either we enter and then kind of see the reaction if it keeps on going lower, or then wait for a buy entry instead, as we know that, you know, has been trending up. Pound New Zealand might look the same way as Euro New Zealand. So it was one of those things that you have to look for pairs that correlate with each other. Also, that would help you if one started moving, maybe the other one hasn't moved yet, and then you can take a decision after that, right? So Pound New Zealand is really almost the same weight as Euro New Zealand. So here it is. It bounced on in here inside this red box also. So it went up close to the MA, and then it started bouncing off again from there. So the idea in here is that it's best to wait for a W formation to buy. You know, once it gets out of yesterday's low again, it could be a little bit tricky, but we still have a lot of support down here, okay? So it can definitely maybe go up again to the white zone and then look for a sell entry in here again, okay? Somewhere in here on the red zones, you know, anywhere somewhere around here would be great to resell if it gets there fast enough and within today, right? All right, so last one, pound CAD. What do we have pound CAD in here? You know, pound CAD and euro CAD could be very similar. This one is hitting this yesterday's low support, is in the blue zone, you know, so it gave out an entry right here. What's the problem sometimes, you know, like right here, we got an entry, but this candle was huge, right? You know, I really would have liked a smaller candle. You know, it met the criteria, pretty much our entry criteria, you know, like, all right, so it hit yesterday's low within the blue zones, blue box in here, it actually happened inside my prior 4-hour candle. But what's the problem in here? The problem is that the entry, boom, it hit my MA right away. So I don't have room. The idea is that if I enter, I have room to go towards the MA in case it bounces up from there. This is why you need focus and attention and judgment, right? Well, if my entry happened right at the MA, then I don't know if it's gonna bounce up from there, which it did. And then my next intention would be, well, it's best that it crosses above it. Like here, we had a sell entry where the MA crossed below the this candle crossed below the MA, and then price kept on going lower. But if it hits it, then I don't know what are the possibilities that, well, it's gonna keep on just breaking and then boom, 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 gonna go up, right? Just like in here again, we gotta buy entry, which it met all the requirements, but guess what? It was so close to the MA that I have no room whatsoever to keep on, I don't know. Again, we don't know with the market. So I don't know if when it touches the MA, it's going to bounce and then, or is it going to break it? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. So in here, boom, it hit the MA. Well, all right. So what now? So if you enter by any chance, then all you have to do is make sure that it goes back in here and then it breaks, and then it hopefully either goes back at least to today's high, which is right here, right? That would be the least that it could go to. Once it breaks it, then it can go higher or maybe back to yesterday's high. But again, that's one of those things where you need attention and focus and own judgment when you're trading the market. You can't just have a robot trade on your own because, well, the robot is not going to see and analyze everything right here. Well, we hit the MA. What should I do? Should I get in? Should I get out? One of those things, right, that you need your own judgment. If you're selling right here and then you put a TP, like, I don't know, really low because you want 100 pips or you want X amount of pips, right? But what if the market hit this support right here and then it bounced up and then it goes and then it never takes your TP? So you need to consider these things, that just because you put your TP and then you want that, well, it doesn't mean it's going to get there, right? You need to use your own judgment so that you can get out when you're supposed to, because you start seeing something that it doesn't look correct, doesn't look right, and then let me just get out, right? So that's the idea behind here, that you learn to have your own judgment. I don't know where market is going to go. Don't ask me because I have no idea. We're on the same boat in here. We're trying to analyze, make the best entry decision, and then after that, we have to make the best exit decision, right? Where are we going to exit? And then all we have to do is analyze and see how price is reacting to support and resistance, price action, all right? So if I see these candles are reacting in here, well, I might get a chance, hopefully that price might go up and then, to this white area, to this high, or here, That I have no idea. I don't have the magic ball that can let me know exactly where the market is going to go, okay? So if you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope this was helpful.